Yes. Guilty and cruelty combined. Yes. I have my film course at school at the moment, and as I've had every year for ages and ages, just once a year. And sometimes there are sometimes it's a nice experience. It gives something to me too. When it's a kind of a discussion course, I want them to discuss with me about the films we see and about the themes and ways they are made, and the characters and what happens, and sometimes they just don't talk. The Finnish school is such that it doesn't encourage people to exchange conversation or opinions. So no, it encourages you to do mathematics and writing and such, not to discuss. But this year there has been some discussion and about some films, and so far we have had we've had Hannibal Rising. It's the youth ideas of the serial killer Hannibal Lecter. I like the film. It's a very epic and beautifully visualized. Visualized story of a child, and very strong emotional experiences during a short time of a few days, and how they kind of kill this level of feelings and empathy in him, and make him a machine of revenge. The other I like very much the camera work in it, and the slowly sliding images, and the acting of the boy Hannibal Lecter and the young man. And there are other quite interesting points. It's not a great film, no, but it's when it gets sloppy towards the end, but it's worth watching. Yeah, I think. The other one was The Constant Gardener. The Constant Gardener is made after John le Carré's book. I have read the book, but it's been transferred to later years. Yeah. I seem to remember at least that it was, and it's a very good film, this Constant Gardener. It's an important ethical theme, the responsibility of industry of state and of a single human being, and it's also about commitment. What does it mean if we say that we love somebody? How far are we ready to go to commit ourselves? Yes, it's a very good film, and the visuals are just enchanting. Yes, lovely. Because in this film there's a lot of different ways. The camera is mostly, I think, carried and moving like this, and then there's the webcam, and there are also these steady epic pictures, and a lot from the airplanes and helicopters and above, and then there's this wonderfully striking difference between civilized mechanical and Big Brother Europe, where there are cameras everywhere and you can be followed and electronically and anything, and this wild, colorful, lively and deeply human Africa that's dancing there. It's a striking difference. Yes. The Europe is black and white, even though it's a color film all the time, but it is black and white. And they're very good, both of them, the Ralph Fiennes and Rachel Weisz in this. Yes. And then we had The Devil Wears Prada. That's because I like the way it's been done. Witty, intelligent, and rhythmically so just wonderful. How the music and the cuts and everything plays in it. There was quite a quite a discussion about it. One of the boys got just heated and said that whatever are the good points, like cinematographically and otherwise, in this film it's just crap because it's about clothes, and then I couldn't help. I suppose I did laugh or something, and I said that you're wearing clothes every day of your life. In our climate here, you'll be wearing them for the rest of your life, and it has somehow, and then I said that you have to respect the work of other people when it's good, even though you wouldn't like the content. And it kind of woke him, because later he had a very sharp eye for these different films we saw since, and he was very open to conversation afterwards. Then I had the good old Thelma and Louise. It's a road movie, and it's always been it's now today when I see it, I don't know how many times I've seen it, many, but it's rather slow, rather ordinary, but it's good. It's well made and accurate and true, and following the process of these women and their experiences and how they go on to the bitter end. And it's always liked. It's got good music and visuals and good actors, and so. And after that we had the Black Swan, and Black Swan is a bit of a, it's maybe a bit too much of a subjective kind of film. The girl is too childish and but it's well made. It's beautiful and visually very enchanting, and I do like it, and respecting it in that way, and the dancing and it's got rodate clothes, and it's got nice spices. The meat may be a bit rotten, but the spices make it nice. And then we had this Shutter Island, and I think that Scorsese is a bit backchamber kind of character making this these films. I don't fall for them, but the Shutter Island it's well made. It's and of an important thing of self-deception and defenses of the mind, and how you live with them, and how you might get, but he doesn't. He chooses to die. Anyway, in the Shutter Island, the composers and the epics of the camera, the central. I've always told them that when you draw and paint something, when you make a picture, don't put anything in the middle, because it's agonizing. It's you don't want to look. It's like boing to your head, something. And in Shutter Island, they use this central composer a lot in the scenery in the beginning when they say the island, and then later on in the rooms and in the especially in the Ward C, where there are the corridors and it's always, and the doors and the grids, it's always the central, and it is agonizing, yes, and it creates the atmosphere that's disturbing. It's a very well made film, and how the story is proceeding and how it ends up then, and how it reveals things, changes from the what it's in the beginning. It's quite different, and then you get another aspect, and then there's the storm, and another aspect, and then another, and it changes all the time. And these layers of different aspects to this story are quite intriguing, yes. And the world, that's the early 50s. Early 50s is accurately depicted by clothes and things and the way people act, and for example the habit of smoking and how it connects people, and how it's used. They're very interesting. That's a kind of Scorsese. That's I wonder what is it in it that I don't like. I don't know. It hasn't. It doesn't. It's kind of suffocating. It doesn't leave room for your own reflections and thinking. It's too concrete. Something like that. There's something. It's the same with the television series of the 30s. What's its name? I don't recall the name now, but it's the same thing. It's too concrete. It's doesn't breathe. But people like it, yeah. It's easier like that. And now the last one we've seen was Midnight in Paris. That was yeah, I like it really because it's intelligent and uses cultural history, art history, and on these personalities and the development of modern art and how their personal life, for example, just Picasso and Matisse, and how Picasso used his personal feelings and his art as a vendetta. And yes, and how they communicated and how they lived in what kind of a world is, and how this main character is Jill Bender, is looking for his world, his mental surroundings there in Paris, and meets the girl who likes to walk in the rain. Finally, after all this, the American part of it is a bit, well, it could be a bit not so much not so much of it. I'm not actually interested in America or the Yankee way of thinking. There are good points, but I'm a European and I like it. I like the good old Europe with its